Is that good news or bad news, though?
Sorry, I did everything within my power. But so far, I've only managed to teach him how to say good morning.
Wait, so that's all you've been up to this whole time? Get out of here! Huh? Okay, so good mornings aside, please tell Paimon there's been some other progress too.
Of course. That's why I'm here. Kukuku's not the only one that Mr. Risley's been getting to talk. I'm referring, of course, to the convicts.
It was nothing. These guys weren't exactly tough nuts to crack.
So, what's the deal?
After racking their brains, they remembered speaking to an inconspicuous middle-aged man just as they were preparing to pack up and leave Nat. He was dressed in the manner of the Children of Echoes and carrying a box. Plus, the description matches the one the gun was found in. All in all, he didn't look any different from your average Natlanese trap. Perhaps seeing that they were dressed as merchants, this man stopped for a chat, inquiring where their goods were headed, and even asked. The smugglers were very cautious, though. But all this happened before I crossed paths with them. I happened to notice them as they were preparing to set sail. I thought they looked shady, so I snuck aboard, and ended up being carried along all...
Boss, do we know if those Fontanians will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And that's why we call you a rookie. It's all supply and demand, kid. Supply and demand. Natlan's foreign trade is just starting to lift off.
That's right. So stop giving the boss trouble, rookie. Just do your job and keep an eye on the goods.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine? Scarred face. Calloused on closer inspection. The fabric looks worn at the knees and elbows, and his fingernails are dirty. Not exactly your typical... Could he have previously been a warrior? Or even something feels off.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying. Big cargo ship would have been too slow, whereas the smaller ones would have been faster but way too bumpy. If we ended up damaging the goods by accident, all these months spent grafting away would have gone up in smoke.
Seriously? But there's hardly anything here. Would it really have taken them months to prepare? And why would they need to transport it with such care? Could they be secretly smuggling precious items out of Natlan? I'll need to find a way to get to the bottom of this. Huh. Let's go hear what these criminals have to say for themselves. Sure enough, there are relics inside the box. It's illegal to smuggle such items outside Natlan.
Hey, why the long face? You're abroad on business, and you get to do some sightseeing while you're at it. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me. You better cheer up if you know what's good for you.
I guess you're right. I was just worried I might have messed up with the packing, or that something's gonna go wrong along the way.
Oh, pull yourself together. Tons of foreign tourists come traveling to Fontaine. I bet their luggage is full of all kinds of weird stuff. If someone insists on checking it all, just show them the purchase order we had drawn up. Those Fontanians can't get enough of their legalese, so I've heard. They can look all they want.
Aha. So their aim is to smuggle in contraband after all. Looks like I've gathered enough intel about the smugglers and their contraband. So anyway, that was when I went and told the Fontanian guards about After an investigation and a chase, they finally—
Well, guess they're headed exactly where they should be.
Thanks.
Based on your recollections just now.
I was completely focused on those smugglers at the time, so I wasn't really paying attention to other passersby.
Yeah, Kanish, you did great.
In other words, the person who brought the gun here, the one who lost it, has no connection to the smugglers whatsoever.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Sounds like Mr. Kakuku wants to chime in.
He said this elusive individual's actions are positively mystified.
It's a good observation. I quite agree. However, we still know next to nothing about the person. Perhaps we should start by focusing on the lost item itself.
It certainly seems like it was the bait in some kind of trap. The only question is, why wasn't the bait made more conspicuous?
Has something sprung to mind?
I just remembered a film I watched.
Huh? Oh, what?
Hold on, let me explain. Just now, the traveler speculated that this box might have been placed there on purpose, as if the intention was for someone to come pick it up. That got me thinking about those films about kidnapping cases. When they demand their ransom, the kidnappers tell the victim's family to leave money or valuables at a designated spot.
That doesn't merely happen in films. There have been similar cases in real life. In fact, if anything, it's probably the real-life events that inspired the film.
Sounds plausible.
Ooh. Wait. If the gun really was some kind of ransom, then since we took it, does that mean they executed the—
I agree. I don't believe we have a kidnapping on our— Selling off stolen goods is extra work that most kidnappers would want to avoid. Unless they're after something very specific, they tend to just ask, could we be dealing with a kidnapper who's dead set on getting their hands on an ancient dragon handgun? It's not impossible, but the likelihood is very slim. And speaking of selling stolen goods, don't you think this looks more like a trend?
So, bottom line, this was an individual smuggler.
Exactly. And it was the location itself that caused the deal to fall through. The last thing they would have expected was for a quiet beach to turn into a bustling film convention overnight. Not only is the area now packed with tourists, but the Spina di Rosula have a presence there. I'll bet that both parties were completely caught off guard.
That sounds like a plausible theory, but how do we verify?
Looks like your people better start rolling up their sleeve.
How so?
Easy. Just follow the usual procedure by putting up a lost and found notice. The more routine we make it seem, the more likely the suspect will come forward to claim it. Even if they send a proxy, we're liable to get our hands on— And timing-wise, it's about time we updated the bulletin board. All we need now is a lucky gestionnaire to write up—
Ah, so that's what you meant by rope. In that case, I may as well— Delegating this to someone else would require an—
Or are you just not used to asking others to work over—
Is that really a major—
Well, looks like I won't be needed around here.
You could always wait here if you like. The Palais Mermonia serves a particularly—
Thanks, but no thanks. I left a very noisy creature with a friend before heading out, so I should probably get back to feed it.
Ah, I wasn't aware that you had a pet, miss. Speaking of pets—
Get out of here!
Yep, that's the plan. Out of here.
I believe that what Wriothesley is trying to say is, you are free to leave. Furthermore, it has been determined that Mr. Kukuku should not, in fact, be classified as a flying object. As such, he shall be free.
You're the best, bro. Oh, that really is should we bring Cuckoo?
I shall leave him in your capable hands. Indeed. If that proves inconvenient within the Fortress of Merit,
That actually sounds... In the past, I always dismissed the idea of buying a property in the city. The prophecy...
this might be a good time for you to
Huh?
Citizens with honorary titles are... Really? How about this? You read through your documents from start to finish, while I write up the lost and found.
Light it up! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah. Bring it!
How?
What? What now?
Let's shake hands.
Fine by me. Get
Oh, nice.
Paimon feels strangely inclined to keep a safe distance. You miss me, bro?
Cuckoo, you're...
Ugh, not you again. Nope, didn't miss you in the slightest.
Hey, other granny. And hey, Paimon and Kanich. It's good to see...
Get it away! Get it away from me! Nice to meet you, bro. Who are you calling bro? Say that again to my face. I dare you.
If you've got the energy to argue this much, you're clearly not hungry yet. Let's go find something to eat while a How lives his best.
Poor How. He spent all day being tormented by Auroron, only to discover that the suffering's just begun.
Aoife, as a Saurian vet, how can you just sit back and watch our little dragon bro...
Huh? How am...
Even hear yourself? Doesn't anyone want to hear how Kukuku got out of jail?
Don't lose hope, How. By the same standard, you have freedom of movement now, too.
Same standard? I will not be held to the same standard as that
That's right. You won't. As far as I understand, the Palais Mermonia will want to assess your case on its own merits before they grant you freedom of movement.
Where's that Saurian meat restaurant again? I'm gonna...
Yeah, good luck with that, bro. You'll be putting your own...
Also, there's no such restaurant...
Anyway, thanks for looking after a How, guys.
Why, you? Between the two, Kukuku wins the cuteness competition hands down. Really? Wait, who are the other contestants? The lost and found notice is up! Maybe we should go hang around the Palais Mermonia to see if anyone shows up to claim it.
Skyward! Scatter!
Huh, looks like there were quite a few others with the same...
Hello.
Have there been any development? Okay, well, the notice was only just posted. Guess.
Special Patrol, open up!
Ah! Who's there? What's the
I don't think that's who this is.
Hey, this isn't the time for silly jokes!
Good day, all. Gramps.
What in the Tibet?
Oh, he must be the one.
One of his owners. But, bro, what are you doing here?
I'm here to claim a lost item.
Is this the person you saw on the boat, Mr.
Somehow For starters, he just addressed us as Gramps and Grannies. And unless this is the youngest looking middle-aged man in the world, I don't think he's our guy.
Huh. Was there something wrong with my door-knocking etiquette?
That's not door-knocking etiquette. That's the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol doing their job.
Oh, I see. I figured it was just a polite way of requesting entry. Oh, sorry about that. I totally goofed that one up. Give me a moment. I'll go back out and try again.
So, Roran, you said.
Yeah, so.
For real now? Oh, come on, bro. Auroran, be honest now. Were you the one who lost?
No, it belongs to a friend.
So it belongs to.
Of course not. All right then. So here's what went down. This morning, Eve and I were playing rock, paper, scissors. Before long, he'd lost, as he usually does. So we figured we'd head out and visit. When we got near the plaza, a man suddenly stopped us to ask for help. He said that he had lost something and that someone had found it and sent it over to. But apparently he used to work here and was worried it'd be awkward bumping into his old coworkers. So he asked us to pretend to be the owners and claim it up.
You didn't manage to keep that pretense up for long.
It's fine. I'm not the one who feels awkward.
So, a former employee of the Palais Mermonia.
Yes, at least I assume so. He looked like we were about to refuse.
Could it have been a disguise?
Oh no. Auroran, Paimon thinks you've been tricked. Oh, maybe he already took off and escaped as soon as your.
No way. I'm not.
Huh?
He's not going anywhere. Aoife and Kukuku are keeping an eye on him over at the plaza.
Keeping an eye on him. I like the sound of that.
In that case, let's hurry over to time to catch that
Wait a minute, I have a question first. Traveler, Paimon. You're.
Oh, we're basically household names. But why do you ask?
Would that be a problem?
Remember when I said that the seller might be watching in secret?
If so, then picking Auroran to do their dirty work was a careless mistake on their.
It suggests that the person who got Auroran to claim the item might not be fully. There are plenty of unanswered questions, but standing around. However, I still suggest that the famous faces among us, meaning the Traveler and Kinich, oh, and of course, Monsieur Nivet, we'll empty the box, give it to Auroran, and then he can claim the item as if nothing happened. I'll follow to check if anyone is watching. I doubt anyone would recognize me anyway, so I shouldn't draw too much attention.
I think this plan is worth a try.
So I have to go undercover?
Well, not exactly undercover. Just drop the
Roger that.
No sign of any suspicious individuals around here. Auroran has entered the elevator as planned. I'll head over to the plaza now. Auroran's taking the elevator. I should take a different route to the plaza. suspicious going on here either. Strange.
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Stop with the pecking! Stop with the. Please, sir, I'm begging you, do me a favor and get this pet of you.
The heck are you on about?
Sorry, but he's not my pet. He's my coworker. And I should warn you, he's not too happy with how you're talking about him.
What the? This thing has a job? So in Natland, they just dish out jobs to any.
Uh-oh. Kukuku's not too big on being called a thing either.
I'm sorry. Please, Mr.
All right, Kukuku. That'll do for now. Let me ask him some questions.
Sure thing, bro.
Auroron actually looks pretty serious this time. Was he just pretending to be clueless? Interesting. Think I'll sit back and see how this...
You actually got it? Wow, didn't think it would be that easy.
Ah, excellent. Looks like sending you was the right...
After all?
I mean,
So I got it. But I don't remember promising I'd hand it over.
Huh?
This thing's pretty cool. I've taken a bit of a...
Please don't do this, my good sir, my master, my lord. My very life hangs in the...
His life hangs in the balance?
If this means so much to you, what are you gonna...
Are you trying to...
How'd you know?
Because I watched that film. You should drop the act. We don't want a real misunderstanding.
You're probably right. But honestly, I don't know what else to say. Sorry, this is the most myself I can be. Is that enough?
Enough.
Who's this dude?
Just think of me as a staff member from the Palais Mermon. Now, if you don't mind, I have some questions for this gentleman about that life or death treasure you were just discussing.
Oh no.
What's that supposed to mean? You don't think the Palais Mermonia has the ability to protect our...
No, I mean, yes, of course.
I could do that. But I'd rather you just tell the whole
I suppose I only have myself to blame. I'm a collector of antiques. Nothing excites me more than rare, old relics, and to be completely honest, if someone's selling... As for the seller of this particular item, well, I've never met him in person. We've had some prior dealings, but always under the cover of coded ads in some shady tabloids. Lost and found notices, as long as I took care to hide a time and place somewhere within the text, then slipped some mora into the envelope before submitting the ad, it would get published. And that was that. Normally, everything goes off without a hitch. But this time, I arrive at the pickup spot. That was not what we'd agreed. But I couldn't just let it go, so I reached out to him again. He replied, and do you know what he said? He told me that
Well, he wasn't lying about...
He insisted that it would be inconvenient for him to make an appearance himself, but said that if I could somehow find a way to retrieve it from the Palais... Of course it wasn't the discount that swung it. Do I look...
Feeling smug now,
Feeling smug now, are we?
No, please go easy.
Go on.
Where was I? Well, anyway, I thought to myself, seeing as the item itself came from Natlan, it would make more sense if I could find some... And by a stroke of complete and utter coincidence, I just so happened to see these two young folks wandering around. I'm so very sorry.
I need you to clear something up for me. You haven't paid the seller yet, correct? And yet he told you to collect the item from the Palais Mermonia.
Well, to be honest, though I can't claim to know him very well, he, on the other hand, seems to know Besides, this is a guy who managed to get his hands on an ancient Natlanese weapon.
Fair. That makes sense. So, Mr...
Please.
All right, Mr. Argento. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. It will determine how much of the rest of your life you'll be spending beneath the waves.
What does he mean? Is he gonna drown him just like they... Oh, I get it. He's talking about that place at the bottom of the Fontaine.
Shh, can it?
Owing to your suspected involvement in the illicit trade of Natlanese relics, you're now one of the A trip to the Opera Epiclese seems unavoidable at this stage. But on the bright side, you still have one chance to make things right.
Okay.
It's very simple. Just reach out to your seller in the same way as usual, arrange to meet, bring the money, and make the deal. Just be sure to let me know all the details. I'm talking time, place, the whole lot. If we can catch the other party by doing this, you'll have gone some way toward redeeming yourself. Understand?
Oh, I see.
Good. Don't break the law, and don't even think about making a run for it. The Palais Mermonia will be watching you. All right, take the box, but leave your ID and other documents behind. As for you two, protocol dictates that I should take you both back to the Palais and have you sign a confidentiality.
Such a hassle.
See? Mr. Kukuku knows exactly where I'm So, I was thinking...
I understand, sir. We got dragged in out of respect for the traveler.
Oh, I know this part. We better keep on in that case.
Not exactly what I was going for, but if that's how you want to understand it, then be my guest. Then it's settled. Boy, am I glad that's over. That's enough work for...
Judging by your expression, it must be...
It went smoothly.
So basically, we hold off until Argento and the other party have set up the next stage of the transaction.
Patience will be key.
I get that. It's like hunting. I'm just not sure the other party will take the bait so easily.
Well, if he didn't need the money, or if he valued self-preservation over making a profit, he could have walked away as soon as the contraband was brought to the Palais. On top of that, although he hasn't shown his face yet, he seems to have no followers or accomplices. And he's relying on an extremely limited set of options to push the... So, if you ask me, he seems like someone who cares a lot about his image and has a somewhat high opinion of himself, but lacks any real ability. I almost get the feeling that if he misses out on this opportunity, he won't have any other way of making money. His every move is like a spin of the roulette wheel, hoping that the ball will land exactly where he wants it to. Or maybe he'll cut his losses and vanish into thin air, and our efforts will have been in vain. At least Natlan will get the stolen relic back, so it will...
In that case, let's hope his arrogant...
Everyone, I have just briefed the Morishose Phantom on the situation. As soon as there are any further developments, we will act without delay. When that time comes, we will be relying on...
We'll be waiting for the good...